Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today,
we're going to go over some bugging out and getting home.
And some of the terrain you may cover on your way.
Sometimes it's good to stay off the beaten path. Sometimes when you're bugging out, it's good to use the road as a man-made route, but to use the tree line and maybe the culverts as, you know, man-made covers while you're bugging out. See, I'm bugging out to my bug out location right now. I got my 72-hour pack and I'm heading up towards the Alamo, as we like to say. Alright guys, I just got done walking around a few of the trails by the house, and now I'm going to practice just walking with my bug out bag through town. And while I'm through town, of course, can't bring the AK-47 with me. Probably be too many cops called. Now I got to meet up with Luke here in a few, and I got a little bit of terrain to cover. Usually I would take the bug out vehicle. That's what this is here right here. But in this scenario, we're gonna act like it maybe was an EMP. So I'm just using my 72 bug out bag. There are different kinds of bags there too, if you can tell. But we're gonna leave the AK-47 here. Chemical and biological kit, I don't think we need that. A couple of my other bags, we're gonna go ahead and leave that. So if you guys follow with me, we're gonna go meet Luke. Now you can see some of this rough terrain that I'm covering here. We got a small running path. I'm kind of trying to stay off the beaten path. I'm gonna go up here and hopefully meet up with Luke up here in the city. I've cut a couple of miles and I'm pretty tired, but it's all worth it to meet up with somebody, get that community, you know, practice this community and prepping in this cross terrain. So let's head up there. Alright guys, now remember, with your bags, you have a certain time. I have 72 hours with this bag. And now I'm on my way up to the city to meet with Luke. And remember, I got a time schedule with Luke to meet up with him. And remember, time is everything. Time with these bags, time to meet up. And just remember that about that time and that length of time that you got to use your gear and also to meet up with your group. So let's see if we can meet up with him. Okay guys, right now I'm on the outside of town. You guys will see me walk up here right now. Luke's not that far away. I'm gonna practice losing my bag now or staging my bag. Some people I know, like if they're going into an area that might be hostile, they want to blend in, they might stage their bag and come back and get it. I mean, I got everything I need on me right now, so I'm just gonna hide my bag. And now I'm gonna go meet up with Luke.
Now in this scenario right here, cars wouldn't be moving and going about. In my scenario, whenever the earthquake happens, I'm going to be right now transiting myself home either with a bicycle or on foot. But in today's prep training, I'm just going on foot to get used to if the worst case I don't have a bicycle. So right now, some things to keep in mind is if you're having to trek through a city, is I'm going to try to stay the sidewalk and as close to a building where I can offshoot if I needed to, just in case of something happening all of a sudden. And I also want to stay near where I can have other options to cut off on another street if I see a roam of marauders coming and just things like that. Need to keep these things in mind at all times. So right now we're just going to kind of go up the sidewalk. I'm going to kind of get a feel of how my pack's feeling, if I need to adjust it or anything like that. Some other things to keep in mind also is, you know, a lot of people like right now are probably driving by thinking, what in the world is this guy doing? But you know, the thing about it is if you're not comfortable practicing your prepping while the world is not in chaos, how in the world are you going to be able to pull it off whenever it is? Now I'm coming up to a railroad crossing right now, and I would encourage you to watch the video that Brian and Kevin made that was man-made alternate crossings, because when the time comes you might need to use those. And right now, if I needed to make another route out of town, right here's a great opportunity because I know this railroad crossing and I know where each end leads, so that's another opportunity for me to get out of danger if I needed to. One last note I'd like to make about railroads is if you look off into the distance, not too far from where I'm standing, you can see there's an overpass that crosses that railroad. Many times you will find this within cities especially, that there's roads crossing railroads or going over them. And if you cross that railroad system, you can interconnect with these other roads.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, where's your bag?
You know, I had to ditch it, get out of there fast.
And that will happen sometimes.
So, I know Luke went over some of the things about us walking here. We're practicing our preps, and, well, we're in a small town, and these guys kind of look at us like we're crazy. But, you know, we're trying to pass this word on and help. You know, we talk to people out in the community like this all the time about what are they doing to prepare themselves, you know? And this is a big, well, this town's small, but it's big on religion, isn't it, Luke?
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people know that, you know, about the 7 trumpets of Revelation. But, you know, we try to pass our word on and also press the word about our channel and everything like that.
We try to build on a foundation that people already have, because a lot of people are taking consideration about what's going on and events happening around them. And if you can put prepping together with that, you have a high chance of surviving when these things start to happen.
At this point, we're only about a mile away from where we're actually going to the bug out location, or as Luke would be going home, I'd be going to my bug out location. This is where I believe that sense of survival, you know, that how do they say, how coaches like to say, the fourth quarter, you're going to put in that big wind, you know, because we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know, being in the military, when we're in the run, we see that finish line. This is the home stretch. This is where we're putting it all. I just want, you know, especially in my case, which would be, you know, the crap has hit the fan. You know, in that thought of mine, you just, right here at this point, you don't need to lose that focus that, you know, you need to stay covered. You know, if there could be marauders, if I'm walking through here with a bag, people could be looking, you know, to take what I got. And, you know, I'm going to protect what I got. I prepared, and I don't want people to just take what I got. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that don't let the home stretch or that light at the end of the tunnel blind you so you lose your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, would you look there? So we hope these things are a help to you, because as these events begin to unfold, it's so important to be comfortable with your surroundings and know where you're at and know where you need to get to, because we want to make sure that you find your way to your home.
And remember, if you're on a long trip back home, like Luke, take a couple of times to rest and to get something to drink. It's okay to hide off maybe in a little bit of the woods or something like that. Take a couple of minutes to rest, if you know what I mean. Especially, you need to stay hydrated, because that's going to kill a lot of people at the end.
Now, if you look behind us here, you can see the stretch that was covered right there is only like a quarter of a mile. I've got a long way to go for myself personally to get home. I have almost 40 miles to trek. In that course, I have to cross a major river, bike an interstate, and then from there, if I lose my bike, I have to walk the rest of the way. through grasslands, through city, through an interstate if I do lose my bike. There's a lot of factors to consider, and you need to keep these things in mind at all times. Kevin, you want to add some more points to that?
Now Luke's also got a couple of points that he's got already planned out. He's got it mapped out that he's going to stop at, and those are either going to be his rest spots, his food and intake places. Also, one of those stops on there is a major hub that he can resupply, which is actually where my place is, where I'll be held out for at least maybe 30 days, unless I have to bug out myself at that time. But Luke's got these stops along, so he's prepared for that long trip home in that 40 miles. If he can't make it in one day, then you know he's gonna set himself on a time lapse. He's gonna be like, I'll take 5 minutes to rest. You gotta realize the importance of hydration and resting. And he's got all those obstacles to cross, and that's gonna take it out of him. So just wanna keep that in mind, guys.
So I'm pretty pleased with how my bag done. I'm really comfortable. I thought I'd have some discomfort down around my waist, but this padded area on it's done really good. I think as I further progress longer and longer distances that it'll be a lot better.
And you know, you'll go through and you'll unpack it, see what's more heavy, what's more light, and you know, I think it was a good thing that we came out here and you know, we did. My sense is you know, crap has already hit the fan. I'm trying to get over here to the location, and you know, I'm trying to lay low, you know, try to stay under the radar and everything like that. And you know, you're just trying to get home to get to your family, you know, get back to that. You got those preps to get home and to, you know, make it here. And mine is, oh man, everything else has failed and I need to get out. So it's a good thing that we've showed people, you know, these two different steps that we've done.
Yeah, and I think as I expand on it further, you know, going longer range, you know, starting to use the radios then and start using the, you know, the river crossing equipment and all that, I think the more and more that I use it and get more comfortable with it, when the time happens, it'll just be like ready to go, you know. And I think that's
and stay
where
tuned for those, because Luke's going to show you how he makes it across the river. Also, he's going to show you how, in case he's going to be walking down, like if he's walking down a major interstate, you know, he's going to show you guys those certain keys and those major things, those major points of traffic and crossings that he's going to cross. But you know, he's just trying to make it home. It's that 24-hour that it just happened. It's not that 72-hour chaos is already broke like me. You know, we're only 72 hours away from chaos.
And time does matter. Time is critical, and it can mean life and death. And that's why that as you prep, you need to be ready, because every second is a moment that you lost you will never get back. Yep. So we hope this has been a help to you. And until we see you again, have a most blessed day in Yahushua name.